guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to this Jessica Rabbit Halloween transformation. Let's get right into it and start by moisturizing the skin. A very important step. We want to make sure that our skin is ready for all of today's glam. We're going very much full coverage for today. For moisturizer, I'm using the Premium Skincare Retinol Moisturizer that I found on Amazon and I've been really loving it. And it has that fun little pump applicator that all the TikTok girls use. I'm really liking it. Next, we're gonna prime the skin to make sure we smooth out those pores. Jessica Rabbit has no pores because she's a cartoon character, but we can get just a little bit close to that. So that's why we're using our e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. And then we're gonna cover the face with foundation. I am using my Ride or Die, my L'Oreal Infallible Fresh Wear 24-hour foundation. And while we're here, I'll remind you that all of the products that I mentioned in this video will be linked in that description down below. Also, if you haven't yet, don't forget to like this video and subscribe before you leave. Alright, so after foundation, we're going to go ahead and conceal using our L'Oreal Infallible Full Wear Concealer, going under the eyes and chin, just in those areas where I needed that extra coverage. And now to highlight the face, again, we're doing full glam for this look, so I am using the e.l.f. 14-hour Camo Concealer on the inner and outer corners of the eyes, the forehead, cupid's bow, and chin, and really taking our time to blend all of this out. And then to really sculpt and contour the face, I'm going to be going in with my iconic London multi-use sculpting palette. We're going on the temples and sides of the cheeks to contour those cheekbones. And then also really snatching the nose, contouring the sides of the nose there. And then we're going to be using concealer to cut underneath that cheek contour to make sure that jawline is nice and defined as best as possible. Alright, and after that we're going to be going in with our OPV Beauty Loose Setting Powder to bake. We're going to use a generous amount for this, especially under the eyes because the eyeshadow look today is going to be bold. So we want to be generous to catch any fallout from that. Then we're going to go on the forehead. We're cutting the jawline. And then with whatever products left on the sponge, we're going to use it to set the entire face. And like I said, be generous under the eyes. And then to help us set the contour, we're now going in with a powder bronzer. I'm using my Fenty Beauty Sunstalker Instant Warmth Bronzer on top of those areas where we contoured, even on the nose. And then with translucent powder, we're going to bake the sides of the nose. Okay, so now we're going to do the brows and we're first going to brush them to get rid of any powder that might have fallen into them. And then we're going to do red brows. So to do that, we're first going to go in with our concealer. We're going to apply that concealer with the doe foot applicator to the brows. We're going to blend it in with our sponge, and then with a red shadow, we're just going to fill them in as usual. And I used the Rusty Red shade from the original Jaclyn Hill and Morphe palette, and then I also mixed in the red shadow from her Volume 2 palette, just because I needed a little bit more of a true red vibrancy. I wanted red for those brows. So all I'm doing is filling in the brows as usual with those two shades using an angled brow brush. And then to clean them up, I went in with a flat brush and cleaned up the bottom part of the brows to make sure they were nice and clean and super sharp. And we also use that concealer all over the lid. We're also basically using it as an eyeshadow primer. And once you're happy with your brows, we're gonna get started on eyeshadow, and I'm gonna go in first with a small brush like this one and using the purple shade on the Jaclyn palette and the purple shade on the Juvia's Place The Warrior 3 eyeshadow palette. And honestly, the Juvia's Place palette has a better purple than the other palette, than the Jaclyn Hill one. Juvia's Place is known for their pigmentation on all of their products, so I knew that that palette was going to give me the bold purple that I needed. So we're going to be taking that purple and patting on the color to make it as bold as possible. And I'm building up the shape of the shadow, which is a round shape. So if we look at the cartoon for reference, her shadows, it's a very exaggerated round shape. I'm not going for a literal replica of her makeup, but something that's a little bit more modern. Still glam, but more of a modern shape. So that's what I'm going for here. So I'm slowly placing that purple color on the lid exactly where I want it, and then building up on that color, and then using a clean blending brush to buff out those edges and keeping on just adding that color. And when it comes to colorful looks, my best advice is to just remember not to be afraid of color. Pack it on. The more color, the more beautiful it's gonna pop and it's gonna translate. Also, if you think you've blended enough, keep blending. It's really gonna help you improve just the overall look and appearance of your shadows. Okay, so now we're going to move a little bit closer to the lid and we're going to add a lighter purple to that area. This shade is in the Jaclyn Hill Volume 2 palette, and I knew that it was a super vibrant purple, so I wanted to use it. So I applied that to the area that's in between the outer corners of the lid and the lid. And then from there, what we did to one eye, we're going to do to the other, just keeping that symmetry in mind. Okay, so now for the lids, I thought it would be pretty cool to use something that's a little bit like holographic or like a duochrome. So I found this BH Cosmetics Eyelights Glitter Shadow. Now, I will apologize because when I try to find it online, I don't think they sell these anymore. But you can go ahead and use any lilac shimmer that you may have in your collection. I'll also try and find something similar and link it below for you. So we're gonna take that and apply it to our lid and really make that sparkle. And for the inner corners, you can do any white shimmer that you may have. I used this shade from that Jaclyn Hill Volume 2 palette because it does have like a lilac duochrome shade in there. And then before we get to the lower lash line, I went in with blush because I realized I forgot to do that. And I knew I wanted to do something super bubblegum pink. So I actually went in with this pink shade from the Juvia's Place palette, which worked beautifully for shadow, and it was the right amount of pigment that I wanted. It turned out so pretty. And now for the lower lash line, we're going to go in with the same dark purple that we started with for our top lids, now to our lower lash line, and really buff it out. And then we're going to do mascara. I am using the L'Oreal Paris Telescopic Mascara. And then we're going to do a beautiful full lash. I'm going in with a Kiss Lash Couture Masterpiece Luxe Lash. And now for the lips, I'm going to be going in with a Milani Cosmetics Amore Matte Lip Creme in the shade Devotion. I did overline my lips for this because Jessica Rabbit is all about the big, luscious lips, which are also glossy. So I went in with this beautiful gloss. It's the Milani Fruit Fetish Lip Oil. And to set everything in place, I did the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. I added some earrings. I went in with my costume, which will also be linked down below. And this look was complete. This is how I created this Jessica Rabbit inspired Halloween look. I absolutely love how it turned out. I did my best to embody her confidence, her sexiness. So let me know your thoughts in that comment section down below. Like this video before you leave and subscribe, of course, if you haven't yet. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Take care, and hopefully I will see you right here on the next one. Bye guys.